What's up, everybody? We are Deanna and Phil. Deanna here is from the United States and I, Phil, am from Germany. And in this video, we're gonna talk about how we met.
So this is probably the most asked question we get on Instagram, YouTube, everywhere. We're gonna organize this as best we can. We're gonna start with the background of our lives beforehand, our first meeting, our first kiss, and then committing to each other because we like the structure.
So we want to set up the story for you, and our first point, therefore, is going to be our backstories.
Backstories. Well, after college, I moved to Charleston, South Carolina. I was 22 years old, and I got my first corporate job. I was a credit analyst underwriter for a larger company. I just assessed the risk of companies and lending to them, looked at financial statements. It's really boring.
Super interesting.
But yeah, so after, I didn't really date anyone in college too much. I went on a handful of dates, but it wasn't really like super serious. So after college, when I started working, is when I started to go on like proper dates with like dinners and stuff. And I was just meeting people through friends, or I was on Tinder, and I didn't really ever connect with anyone too seriously. I had boyfriends before, but I never really seriously dated anyone for a good like 5 years.
But I did. Yeah, so before we met, I was living in Munich, Germany, and I was also in a very corporate job. I was a strategic buyer in a very big company. Just one of these jobs where thousands of people work and you just sit in a box every day. And I kind of thought like I was not meant for this lifestyle. In Munich, I was like going on occasional dates too, but nothing really too serious. To be honest, the dating culture there, for me at least, kind of sucked. And I also was in this typical state of working where you don't really have too much energy, especially during the week, to like go on dates, and then you want to do sports and stay in shape too. It was just very draining job-wise, and that was kind of my life before we met.
Yeah, I agree. It felt more like a chore to be dating someone.
Yeah.
It wasn't really a priority because I had other things that were more interesting or that I wanted to do.
Like lying around after work. That's it.
Yeah.
So I was like single for 1.5 years before I met you, and before that I had a very long-term, like almost 5-year relationship, and that was kind of my daily life in Munich, being single, just working and doing not much else. And I really thought this is not meant for me, so I thought I had to do something else.
Me. Something else is me. So we've gotten this question a few times, and the question is, have either of us ever dated another German or American before meeting?
I haven't. Like, I was waiting for one. You were the first one I met, so I was just jumping on that ship.
People are gonna think you're serious.
No, I'm not serious.
Sorry, ladies.
I met a couple of Americans, but very rarely. I don't know why, but wherever I was, Americans have not entered my daily life ever. Just on vacation, I met a couple of Americans. I never met a girl where I thought, hey, that could be dating material.
Yeah, for me as well. I mean, I had met a handful of Germans before within business school or when I was traveling or just socializing, but I'd never dated a German before. So that's mine. It's not like I was out to seek out a German or anything. I don't do that.
And then point number 2 is gonna be how we actually met.
Yeah, so I had the same feelings as Phil. I had worked in my job for 3 years and I felt like I was in a box and I wanted to do something new. I needed to take a break. I had done English teaching before, but I wanted to get properly certified with the TEFL certification. So I decided to go to Thailand and get TEFL certified to teach English.
So your idea was to go to Thailand, move there, teach English, and live there.
Yeah, I bought a one-way ticket.
Yeah, same for me. I was getting sick of my job. I quit my job in September 2017. I went to Thailand in October 2017, and I kind of had a history with Thailand. I've been to Thailand twice before. The first time, December 2014. I went there for 3 months. For the first time, I absolutely loved it. I went back, and then after I quit my job, and my hope was to teach English and train Muay Thai on the side. That was the idea. Bought also a one-way ticket and went to Chiang Mai to do the same thing, the TEFL certificate, because that's what you need. And it happened to be the same course that she enrolled in.
Wow. Okay, so the very first day of class, we were signing up and filling out our paperwork and everything. And it's funny because Phil came in like a full suit.
Okay, wait.
No.
First of all, I saw her first. The first day you have to go into the office and sign up that you're actually there and participating.
Yeah.
And we walked in there. We had no idea how many people they're going to be,
Yeah.
how intense that course is going to be. I just heard that they value proper clothing for teaching, but I wasn't sure if I need to wear like a suit for the classes or if that's just for the later teaching. So I came in like almost a full suit with like the business shoes and everything.
The other girl there thought he was the teacher.
But the first time I stepped foot into that room, Diana was sitting in the chair, back facing me and talking, signing up with the authorities there. And that's when I saw her for the first time. I just saw her from behind and I just saw the huge hair. I didn't see the face yet. And she just looked very attractive immediately. And you kind of know how it is. If you're a guy and you go into one of these courses, you're like, man, I hope there are like some nice girls there. First step in there, I saw her from behind. I saw her first and I was like, that's a good start.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel so embarrassed talking about this. Yeah, I think my initial impression was I didn't realize you were the other student because I'd filled out my paperwork and then I went into the classroom. And then once he came into the class first, he was like, oh, I'm Phil, I'm the other. You introduced yourself first because I wasn't sure who he was.
And I walked into that room, she was already sitting there. And there were only 3 name tags. It turned out there were only 3 people in that course.
Yeah.
And I walked in, I introduced myself, and that's when I got a good look at her for the first time. And I was immediately like, yes, this is...
He came off very confident, I felt like.
Really?
You came over, you approached first, you were like, hello, my name is Phil.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, I don't know if she's a native speaker, and I'm gonna try to speak English. You're like, hello, blah, blah, hello, how you doing?
No, but I thought it was very smooth because we went through class and they did the introduction and everything. There was just another girl in there with us and he was like, well, let's all grab lunch together and then let me get your numbers, your Thailand numbers or your line numbers.
Was that on the first day?
Yeah, on the very first day. And I was like, wow, this guy's smooth because I'm one of these people, I never ask for anything like that. I'm not very forward. Even with it's just making friends, I feel awkward.
But listen, like, I'm not the smoothest guy. My idea was we probably need those numbers exchanged so we can like coordinate stuff. But of course I already thought like, and I have her number so I can text her and stuff like that. But I'm the guy that thinks, oh my god, if I ask for these numbers now and it's obviously for school, maybe she thinks, oh my god, he's hitting on me immediately. I'm the guy that thinks as soon as you talk to an attractive looking girl, they think you hit on them.
No, I'm the person that thinks everyone is being friendly and I don't know if someone's flirting with me unless they're openly saying, hello, I'm flirting with you.
But I think you're in general a little more flirtatious. I think Americans are just a little more open. Like,
friendly is confused with flirting. They're not the same. Just because I'm being nice doesn't mean I'm being flirtatious.
That's what guys think.
Okay, our third point. The first date.
Yeah, and I wasn't really sure if it was a date, but a couple of days went by and I thought we had amazing chemistry, to be honest. And I already went through all these scenarios in my head, how this could develop. I'm like, oh shoot, she looks like relationship material, like she's good looking, awesome, friendly, she was up for everything, meaning like activities and stuff.
Yeah.
And so a couple of days went by and we always went to lunch every day.
Yeah.
But then I thought maybe I'd just ask her if she wants to do something. I wanted to go to this temple in town or outside of town with the scooter and I was just like, hey, do you want to go to a temple after school together? I didn't really think about it as a date, but a potential thing to connect more. So
yeah, outside of the classroom.
Like a date, I guess, but not officially.
Yeah, I remember running through my head, okay, like he's nice, we know each other. I've never been on a scooter before. He could be a dangerous person and is just gonna kidnap me. All these things run through your head when you get on a scooter with a stranger.
Really? But it only took a second because you were like, yeah, sure, let's do it.
Well, it's pretty fast in there. It's pretty fast.
The other girl, I think I asked in like the...
You asked in the group.
And she unfortunately couldn't make it. But it kind of worked out, so...
So we went up to the temple and I remember I was asking him to take a photo for me. I was like, hey, can you take a photo of me here at this temple? It's got an awesome lookout. And he took a few photos and I get my phone back and there's a photo of my butt. Remember that? You had zoomed, there's a few photos of me and then he zoomed into my butt. And I was like, oh, he's interested. At this point, I still wasn't 100% sure though. I was like, maybe he's just being funny and friendly.
Yeah, so you have to walk that fine line. Like I was like, I could play this off as just being funny and whatever.
Funny.
Yeah.
Yes, but after that, we ended up going to a market and getting dinner together.
But very, very crucial point in time when we stepped on the scooter to drive down from the temple. You were sitting behind me, and that is when I noticed you were interested. Because on the way down, it was like a 30-minute ride down to the city, like these serpentines down the mountain. She started to like
No.
Yes, you did. She started to like touch my back, like very sensually.
No.
Yes, you did. Yeah, like she's like going up and down my back, and I was like, is she just accidentally touching me, or is this real? That point is when I knew she's interested.
I was never on a scooter before, and I remember you kept telling me like, grab me, you have to hold on to me, because it was such a, like, it's a weird intimate thing when you have to hold someone else on a scooter, and I was like, this is so weird, this is normal, this is what motorbike people and scooter people do, right? You just kind of hold. And I remember thinking this weird. But that was
okay, no.
No!
I'm not letting this slide. Holding on is different. You were like relaxed, sitting back and caressing my back. Can you please admit that?
I was sending vibes.
Exactly. So she's just not holding it. She was like going up and down my back, like. Ooh.
It was not as dramatic as you're making it. It was like.
It was for me.
It was like
that
three.
was, baby, please. That is a big moment in our history for me. It is.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
All right. Anyway,
we went down to a market in town. We had dinner together. We ended up talking for hours. Like, I remember it being like a few hours of us just talking, and not. There was no awkward silence. It was just very easy to.
The chemistry was just there, and I always felt like I don't want to stop. I want to keep talking to her, and usually at some point somebody is like, okay, I think we should, I have to go or whatever, but it went on forever.
Yeah, we were like, well, you want to grab dessert? Do you want to get a mango sticky rice? Do you want to get a smoothie? And it just, it was pretty late, I remember. And then
in retrospect, that was basically our first date.
Yeah.
It was not labeled a date, but it turned out midway to be a date.
I'm embarrassed.
And then number 4, the first move, and guess who did that?
Here's my mentality. I came to Thailand to be an independent, strong woman. My life, my thing. I did not expect to meet someone. So I was not trying to be relationshiped up, if you know what I mean. And it was Friday night, and you had set it up all nicely. You're like, let's just buy some alcohol so we can have drinks before we go out, because we decided we want to go to the clubs and dance.
Yeah,
and
that was this time where we were still drinking and partying. Good old times. We first met at my apartment, and we listened to some music. We spent like an hour or two there. Drank a little bit, hanging out. Then we went out to like a market area again, had a little bit of food, kept drinking, and then we went to a pub, the Zoe in Yellow. It's the club basically in Chiang Mai. And very loud music playing. In Thailand they play music so loud you cannot speak to each other. And you dragged me like on the dance floor. I remember that immediately when we arrived, and I'm usually like, ooh,
I just want to dance when I get some drinks in me. I want to move.
So we were in the middle of this dance floor, surrounded by people. It was kind of tight, blasting electronic music through your head, like woo woo woo. And then I was like, hey, we're just pretty close dancing immediately.
He was doing the smooth moving dancing.
Was that? Nah,
and then
we both were. And I was like, this starts pretty good. So maybe in a little bit I can go for a kiss.
But I did that.
She did it immediately. She just jumped on me.
No.
She couldn't resist this anymore.
And I kissed him first, and then we got McDonald's.
Which was the highlight of the evening.
I remember we got a tuk-tuk back with some random people. Those guys. I think one of them was being flirtatious and you didn't like it. But we were also not serious at that time.
I think they might have also been on drugs or something. Anyway, kissing at the dance floor, being there a little bit.
But that was it. It was only kissing.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
I also...
It's a smoocher doodle.
Yeah, the thing was... We're doing this course together, right? We're like co-students to get certified. We have to work together because later in that course you have to teach practicums together.
Teach full students.
Yeah, and the entire course is like a month or 5 weeks or something like that. I was like, we kind of going into this professional relationship together, and that's why I always had this idea in my mind, maybe we should not go too fast with anything, but it only took like a little longer. And point number 5, committing to each other.
So I remember at this point we had gone on a little bit of coupley activities together, you know, like seeing markets, cooking classes. We did a lot of the romantic things together.
Oh yeah, the elephants.
Yeah, but we weren't, I don't think we were like officially a couple.
No.
So we were just kind of dating at this point. And I remember I had gotten a job offer before we graduated the TEFL course.
In Chiang Mai.
In Chiang Mai. And I remember having to decide. I went to visit the school and everything. We actually went to visit it together, see what it was about. And I was like, should I take the job? I need to work. But I also came to the situation hoping to have a little break before the next semester
Exactly.
to work.
That was my plan. My plan was we do this course, we graduate, and then we take a little bit of time, like a month or 2 or 3 in between before I started working. At least that was my plan.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to go right into that. And then her having that job offer already lined up to like start
ASAP.
right away
Yeah.
was a little bit of a weird situation.
So Phil had plans beforehand to go to Phuket and do some like workouts and stuff, stop by Bangkok on the way down there. And I had no plans. Like I had plans maybe travel a little bit and then work. I remember you saying this because I was deciding on what to do. You were like, well, if you do decide to stay in Chiang Mai, I will stay too at this point. And you made that decision and I was like, oh, that's reassuring. It felt good to me to know that he was at that level too, because I felt like I wanted to commit, but I also understood logically that odds are maybe this wouldn't work out. And I honestly came there not to find anyone, to like live my life and like do my own thing.
Yeah, I think that's a crucial time. I think we were like 4 weeks in or something, 3 weeks in when you got the job.
Yeah.
And
but this is 3 weeks of like every day together.
Every day together. I think our relationship from the first minute on was so accelerated, and we spent basically every free minute together. So I think after 2 weeks or something, we were kind of committed to each other. I knew this was going into a relationship. I was just used to not saying that too early. Like you label it after a couple of months, maybe 2 or 3. But I was pretty sure this is a relationship already. And the situation at the end of the certification class with the job, that was also very crucial because she got that job offer and I was contemplating what should I do, but I already knew after like 4 weeks it is worth more. And I said I'm gonna be flexible and I'm just gonna stick around with you. I proposed to you saying let's go down to Phuket. I make the proposition, let's go down to Phuket, train. Let's look a little bit around, experience Thailand, and then we can look for a job. You will get another job because you got that job offer so quickly. But she was like, I need to work. It's that mentality we were setting from these corporate jobs and the security and whatever.
Yeah, ultimately we decided to travel a little bit and I went down to Phuket with you.
She didn't take the job.
I didn't take the job, but we ended up finding a job in Phuket months later, so it was fine.
We did a couple trips. We did a short trip to Payao. That was our first trip together as a couple.
Yeah, as a couple, it was official.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what happened in our story. I honestly think it was fate that we met, as cheesy as it sounds, because I honestly didn't go to Thailand with the intention of meeting someone. I was trying to figure out my life, and my life got shifted because I was supposed to go a month earlier to the program.
Oh yeah.
But I got super, super sick where I could not travel. And so I like contacted the program. They're like, you can just do it a month later. It's fine. Which was in my mind already stressful because I was misaligned with the school semester in Thailand and stuff. And I was like, okay, like screw it. I'll just go and it'll be fine. And I think it all worked out. It was weird how it all aligned because I wouldn't have met you.
If she wouldn't have gotten sick in the US, she would have went a month earlier, went to an earlier class, and I would have not met her in class. I would have been with the other girl that dropped out after a week. So I would have been alone. And I think
it all worked out. It's
regarding that you can probably call fate.
It's weird. Anyways, I feel so weird saying all this.
Yeah, so I think the first day we met, when I stepped foot into that office and saw you for the first time, I think that was the 30th of October 2017.
Yeah.
And it's been 2.5 years now, and we're still here, and I think it's still incredible that we spent so much time together.
It's honestly true. Like, you're my best friend. And it sounds so stupid when people say that. I don't know, maybe not stupid, but I could spend so much time with you. And if I spend that much time with my siblings, we'd be fighting probably.
Yeah, and we never fight.
Well, yeah, that happens too.
Yeah.
That's another video we should talk about.
Yeah, but 2.5 years later, I regret nothing. And I still think I love you more every day.
I can't say cute stuff like that.
Yeah.
Thank
like
you.
An up and down.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're committed to each other. Look at this. That's your chain.
Yeah. We got married 2 years later, right?
Yeah.
2 years.
A little over 2 years later.
I would have
Yeah.
never thought that. I thought I need longer, but with you, everything changed, and I'm happy.
Yeah, ish. Oh. Anyways, thank you so much for watching.
We'll see you in the next normal video. Bye bye.
I wanted to give a quick shout out to Heather Kuffner, our newest family level patron. Thank you so much. And thank you so much to all our other patrons. We really appreciate your support and it really helps run this channel. I hope you guys are all staying safe and we'll see you next time. Bye!